Alright, so we're back with another battle report. I have my Necrons out again, and this time we are fighting Sisters of Battle. They are over there, we'll get to them in a minute. But we are playing the Scorched Earth mission. For my secondaries, I took Scramblers, While We Stand We Fight, and Assassinate. The Sisters of Battle took Raise, which is the mission-specific objective. Guys, he has to try to destroy my objectives. If he does an action on them, he can destroy them, but he has to start the turn on it to do it. And he also took Deploy Scramblers and Engage on all fronts. For my army, I have a Command Barge as my Warlord. He has the -1 damage Warlord trait and the Relic Warscythe. A Skorpekh Destroyer Lord, because I love the guy. And then this little dude is a Chronomancer, and he has the Veil of Darkness. Troops-wise, I have two 10-man warrior squads with Gauss Reapers. I have a 20-man warrior squad with Gauss Flayers. And I spent like all my points in elites this time around. I have 5 Skorpekh Destroyers. I have 10 Deathmarks. I'm pretty sure they're not worth the 180 points I spent for them. But I already had the models, and I really wanted to put them on the table, so there they are. And then way over here in the woods, we have 10 Lychguard, that's what they're called. 10 Lychguard with swords and shields. For fast attack, 2 9-man squads of Scarabs. And then heavy support, I went ahead and split these things up, so it's 3 1-man squad of heavy destroyers. That's my whole army, came to exactly 2,000 points. And then over here we have the Sisters. We have a whole wall of characters. These are all characters here. We have 2 Canonesses, the white lady there on the end and the one with the sword there in the middle. We have a priest there with a shotgun, a mistress for the Repentia there, and a Magifier on the end. And then for troops, oh, and then also not here, she's over in a box over there, is Celestine, also is leading the army. For troops, we have 3 5-man sister squads. They have 2 rhinos for the Repentia over here. That's 2 squads of Repentia, they're all clumped together there. Down here we have Retributors, correct, with heavy bolters. We have 3 5-man squads of Seraphim with Melta pistols, and then this is only 1 squad. That's actually only part of it. There are 3 9-man squads of Seraphim. So that's going to be a whole lot of Flying Sisters. We have 3 squads of those, plus 3 squads of those, and Celestine coming down the board at us. So it's going to be a lot of close combat for the Necrons to try to shoot out of. But that is it. We are playing Scorched Earth like we said. So we're back after deployment, and the Sisters have gone ahead and put almost everything they can, as much as they possibly could, into reserves. But we'll go over that in just a second. On my side, I put the Deathmarks in Deep Strike using their special ability they have, so they can use their Hunter from Hyperspace ability, hopefully. Other than that, I have 1 of my Destroyers here, 10 Warriors near an objective, my Scarabs, my Lychguard and Skorpekh Destroyers, 10 more Warriors, all of my characters, another Destroyer, big squad of Warriors, Scarabs, and finally on the far end, 1 more Destroyer. Now, I failed to say it beforehand, but the Dynasty I'm using is the custom one of the free 6-inch move, and everything is OBSEC. So hopefully all that objective security will really help me, because we're running 6 objectives in this mission. So that's it for me on their side. They have a Rhino there that's full of Repentia and 1 character. Another Rhino there has got a whole bunch of characters. It's got 3 characters in it, and more Repentia. Of course, Celestine and 1 Canoness on foot. The Heavy Bolter Sisters over here. And then finally on the far side over here we have 1 squad of Seraphim. Everything else is either deep striking or in strategic reserve. So that's it. We're going to go ahead and see who goes first. You want to grab a dice there, Joseph? So here we go. He got a 4, and I got a 1. It's definitely not me. So we'll be back with Sisters. I'm assuming you're taking first turn? Yes, he'll be back with Sisters turn 1. Alright, so we're back. The Sisters of Battle turn 1. They had very little on the table, so it was a real quick turn. Celestine moved up and used an advance and charge stratagem to make it into combat with my front squad of Scarabs. I did lose 2 in combat, and then I used the stratagem to explode another one. So 3 dead Scarabs, but I was able to put 3 wounds on Celestine back. Other than that, the heavy bolters way over yonder fired in and was able to kill 2 of my warriors. I made some reanimations to save some other ones. And he is on 3 objectives currently. That front one, that Rhino is just in 3. Of course, the one back there, and then the heavy bolters. So I have to get on at least 3 this turn, so I'm 15 points. And that's it for turn 1. We'll be back with Necrons. Alright, so Necron, turn number 1. It was just as fast as Sisters. Pretty much I gave +1 to hit to this big blob of warriors. They rapid fired in and killed Celestine. And at the end of the phase, she failed to get back up, rolled that 1. Other than that, my 2 heavies here and here fired into this front Rhino. 1 failed to hit, the other one did 4 damage. Rolled a 2 and 2 1s for damage, or rolled a 3 and 2 1s. Anyway, doesn't matter, did 4 damage. Other than that, I just repositioned, kind of moved up to the middle, kind of holding the center of the board with everything, and also staying within 9 inches of my back table edge so things can't come deep striking in behind me. This lone guy over here, he is infantry, so he deployed scramblers just outside of my deployment zone, and these Scarabs are holding that objective. Oh, and way over here, these ones are contesting that objective, and also trying as best they can to wall those rhinos off so that they go through the woods if they want to move. So that is it for Necron turn 1. Alright, so back with Sisters turn 2, and it was a much more eventful turn on turn number 2. So this rhino that is here now was back there. The Repentia, which are now way down here, they got out of the rhino, moved through the woods, advanced, and then used a stratagem to charge after they advanced, and used 2 miracle dice to get a 10-inch charge into my Skorpekh Destroyers back here. Even with the 5-up invulnerable save from my Chronomancer, they still exploded to 9 Repentia hitting them. And they were within range of the Mistress at the time. So they got the extra attack and all that other jazz. Other than that, this Canoness came in and killed some of these Scarabs, but we pulled they were all the way over there, pulled those ones off, so we're still holding the objective. And finally, way over on this side, some Seraphim came in, landed back there, made their 9-inch charge in my Scarabs. Fortunately for me, I reanimated 2 of the dead Scarabs. And some Sisters came in from Strategic Reserve there, put a single wound on this Destroyer, and then failed their charge. They also tried to charge these Scarabs here. So that's where we're at the bottom of Sisters 2. I have to deal with these things because they're little murder machines. And that's where we're at. So we're back with Necron, turn number 2. Alright, it's the end of Necron, turn number 2, and we seem to be giving out as much as we're getting, so it's going pretty well, I'd say. I assaulted in, well, first a shot and blew up that tank over there with the help of that Destroyer and this Destroyer, and then these Warriors actually did finish off, had 1 wound left. So they fired in and killed that Rhino over there. It was empty. This one's still full of bodies, so then I assaulted in, and I have piled in most all the way around it, so hopefully it'll be stuck there with me. And way over here, these warriors here with the assault weapons, plus these ones here which moved up, fired in to kill the Repentia, which were here. My Catacomb Command Barge and my Cryptic fired in and killed the Mistress that was there. The Cryptic hit with his Eldritch Lance, which would have killed it by itself, but he used some faith points and a stratagem to keep it alive. But then luckily the Catacomb Command Barge was able to get it with the Underslung Gauss. And then other than that, over here we just assaulted in. Oh well, the Scarabs fell back out of combat, and then I assaulted with the Lychguard and killed all but 1. So that's where we're at on Necron, turn number 2. I got another Assassinate, and I got 15 in the primary, so we're back with turn 3 for the Sisters. Alright, so the Sisters of Battle are definitely making a game out of this. It was a big turn for them. As you can see, I have nothing left here. This big squad came in, and with all the character support, it was able to wipe out all 15 of my warriors, even though I had the 5 invulnerable save. If I had just passed 2 more saves, I could have got all my reanimations. It would have been really good, but failed, and they died. And then some Seraphim and Canoness finished off the Scarabs. These Seraphim came over here to kill this Destroyer, which is no longer here. They did their job. But in response, only 2 left because I brought in my Deathmarks in response and shot them when they landed and killed 3. And then the one bright light for me is the last Seraphim squad came in over here. I interrupted with the stratagem and killed 6 of them. I exploded a Scarab with the self-destruct stratagem to kill 3 with mortal wounds and then killed 3 more in combat. So that was super good for me. But losing that big giant squad of warriors is going to be a big pain. So we had to shoot all this stuff down on my turn. And that Rhino is still full of Repentia, so that's really going to hurt. But anyway, we'll be back with turn 3 for the Necrons. Alright, so we're back at the end of Necron, turn number 3. And as you can see, I have nothing left in my backfield. So I took my Cryptic that was here and these warriors that were here and used the Veil of Darkness to take them way back there in the enemy deployment zone. We forgot something after I did my last recording there. That unit hadn't taken a morale check. The Seraphim that were there, they actually all died from morale. He failed his morale, the 1 died from that, and then rolled a 1 and a 2 for his, whatever that test is called, but they failed and they died, so they actually ran away. That left the Scarabs open to assault into the Heavy Bolter, not Repentia, what are they called? Retributors that were back there. I used the self-destruct, blew up, rolled a 5, so it was killed 3 with mortal wounds, and then I was able to take the last 4 in combat. Over here, these Lychguard came in, assaulted, and killed these Sisters who were hiding back here, and then piled back on afterwards 3 inches this way. My 2 characters just fell back to hold this objective. The Deathmarks shot in and killed the 5-man Seraphim squad that was there. And then this squad here shot into the Seraphim squad that was here, killed all but 1, assaulted in and killed the last one in combat, and then ended up there. And they have the 5-up invulnerable save from the Cryptic, plus the My Will Be Done from the Lord. But if the guys inside decide to assault them, they'll be dead anyway. But they are there. And then this guy here, he put 6 damage into that rhino. That was my whole turn. I got quite a bit of board control, but there is still one big, giant, nasty, scary unit in there with a whole bunch of characters. So we see the Sisters turn 4. Alright, so back with Sisters, turn number 4. So they got 10 points in the primary, start of the turn for holding these 2 objectives. These warriors here still had the 5-up invulnerable save from my Cryptic before he teleported away last turn, and they held out even though they shouldn't. I got knocked down to 1 warrior, but 3 of them reanimated with his last attack. So they should be dead, but they're there. Here, I got assaulted by that big squad out of the middle, but he wanted to kill my character and kind of got carried away. He should have swung them first, but he went over there and killed my character, which let me use my last command points to interrupt here and knock these guys down to 2 before they could totally obliterate my squad. So I'm holding there when I should probably not be. The mistake that I made though was over here. I forgot that when I was near his board edge he could come on right next to me. So I had my character hanging out in the back and I have While We Stand. So I gave him a free 5 points when he came in behind and then killed my character. He palled into the warriors so the warriors wouldn't shoot him to death. And then finally he brought his last squad in way down here in the corner to do his last deploy scramblers objective. So he got all that now. And that's it. That's where we're at for the turn. So we're back with Necron's turn number 4 and see what we can do. Alright, so we're back at the end of Necron turn number 4 and not a lot happened this turn. My last destroyer hiding over there fired in to try to kill this rhino but rolled a 1 and didn't do anything. Other than that, my underslung Gauss here tried to kill it as well and also failed. My Lychguard way over here failed a charge on these Sisters that came in the back. They're right there, kind of camouflaged, but they are there. I did string them out though, so I'm still on the objective. And other than that, we just had a bunch of combats. He killed 3 of my Deathmarks here, and I killed 1 of his Repentia. I fell back from combat there. Over here, I took no damage, but killed 1 Seraphim. And way over there, we traded 1 for 1. He killed a warrior, and I killed a sister. And that is it. I'm controlling more primaries than him, but I'm not doing a lot on my secondaries. I need to kill these characters. And I messed that up this turn. I should have just shot the characters. So that's where we're at on my turn 4. Back with turn 5 for the Sisters. Alright, so end of Sisters turn 5. I'd like to say it's quick, but we had a lot of strategizing going on, but it was not a lot of action. So what happened is this Canoness and that Repentia fell. The Repentia fell back and used a stratagem build charge. The Canoness has a Warlord trait for the charge. Run it, advance and charge. Has a Warlord trait so it can advance and charge. So it was up here into that forest there, charged in. And so shot with his melt again as a melt pistol. Hit me, I passed my invulnerable save, and then charged me, and I passed 3 of my invulnerable saves. So I have While We Stand, so that guy's worth 5 points to me. I probably should not have moved him out there, but I was hoping last turn to kill that rhino that moved way over there, and then have, then he was going to shoot some characters, but it didn't happen that way. Also, these Sisters here moved up, shot through the forest, and they actually did put a wound on him, just with their bolters. And then the characters hopped into that rhino, so they're hiding from me, so I cannot get my assassinate points. So this last turn really just comes down to, can I kill this 1 Canoness? That's really all the points I can get this round. So we'll be back with my turn 5. Alright, so super quick turn for the Necrons. I just assaulted in here. I should have moved everything over and shot into the Canoness before I assaulted, but I kind of wanted the Lord to do it. Unfortunately, he failed me. He put 3 wounds on her, but she's still alive with 2 wounds left. Actually smacked me back. I took 4 damage, so that was unfortunate, but it's the end of the game, so it really doesn't matter. We didn't even bother doing the rest of it. We're still just sitting in combat over there, because the only points that were left on the board was this. Well, I guess this Destroyer, he did try to kill that Rhino. There's 2 characters inside, so if it exploded, I could have possibly killed one. But he has a 6-up Shield of Faith, and he passed his Shield of Faith save against my big giant anti-tank gun. So that was my whole turn. At the end of the game, it is 59 for the Sisters and 71 for the Necrons. So it was a good game overall, but we both made some significant errors. He should have killed my Deathmarks that one turn he assaulted if he just chose them to go first. And I also should not have lost my Cryptic over there. That was just a dumb move on my part. I forgot he could come in right next to me on his own board edge, so I could, if I just put the Cryptic in the middle of the Warriors, he would have never died, so that cost me 5 points as well. And then that one turn I didn't shoot the characters who were just standing here in the woods. I tried to kill the Rhino. I was hoping to explode the Rhino, but it didn't work out. I should have just shot the characters and tried to get my points that way. Anyway, so there were some errors, but overall it was a good game. I really like the 3 units, single units of Destroyers rather than the 1 unit of 3. That gives me a lot more mobility and flexibility, and they don't all die in one go. So that was it. Thanks for watching. Back next time.